What innocent item gets suspicious if you own too much of it? I saw a TIFU post about a guy who bought a bunch of pressure cookers on sale to give to friends as gifts. Turned out that set off some anti-terrorism flags. So I'm gonna go with pressure cookers. Cough syrup. Oh yes, Mom, I have 30 bottles of Tussin for my chronic cough, don't judge. Clocks. Either all exactly synced or all way off. When I was in undergrad, me and my 2 friends lived together in a house. Whenever we saw a yard sale, we'd stop and buy any reasonably priced clocks. We'd then hang the clocks on the walls of the house in asymmetrical places. And we'd leave them on whatever time they were at, even if they were dead. So our house had nearly 100 clocks after 4 years, all of which said different times and several of which made faint ticking sounds. My roommate, who was the least enthused about this decor, would wake up after a particularly drunk night, hungover as hell, and just scream angrily, "What fucking time is it?" as he walked from room to room. Anyway, when we moved out, we had our own yard sale with only clocks for sale. People thought we were freaks, but we sold about half of them. Monsieur, sometimes I still hear the unsynchronized clicking today when I lay down at night and close my eyes. That sounds like tinnitus but with extra steps. That's fucking amazing. I saw what I would describe as a suspicious amount of peanut butter in the bed of a truck once. I think 2 or 3 12-pack cases. Preppers like it because it lasts a long time, is calorie dense, and had lots of protein. Edit. Okay, so it's not great for protein, but it's still pretty dense energy. Lasts a long time, and goes well with lots of other bland foods. Edit 2. So now people are telling me that it does have lots of protein and I don't know who to believe. You guys can duke that out. Drain cleaner. I live in Methville. When I go to buy Pure Lye, I make artisan soaps. I always make sure to say, for soap making. Even so, I still get funny looks sometimes. Edit. Till about the plot of Fight Club. That makes you seem more guilty, lol. Pictures of a person. But it's okay if the person is Nick Cage. I have a sequin pillow that looks solid red, but when you wipe all the sequins the other way it's Nick Cage's face. Edit. Further down I link the one I have. Y'all act like I got it from some hidden dealer of antiquities in Mogwai or something. Just search Amazon, my dudes. Cardboard cutouts. You have one cardboard cutout and it's a novelty decoration. But you have a room full of them and it gets a little weird. Perfect for when your parents accidentally leave you home for the holidays. And you need to make it look like you're having a party to deter burglars. Toilet paper, you hoarding fucks. I worked at a pool supply store. They sell an extra strong peroxide as an alternative to chlorine. IDKY, but we had to report large purchases to the FBI. Reported this guy after we used his customer info to search his address on Google Earth. It was rural and had a few different outbuildings. Seemed sketchy. FBI got back to us a few weeks later. He was using the chemical to clean animal skulls he bought from a slaughterhouse. Then he carved the skulls and sold them. Monsieur, the FBI lady said he showed her his whole process. And it was pretty impressive. I've never thought of using peroxide to clean my skulls. Till I guess. Edit. Why is this so popular? They're already dead and sorta clean when I snag ye, monsieur. My brother and I collect skulls and other bones. It's interesting. Bleach. Can I have 12 bottles of bleach, please? Kidneys. 2 is enough. 3 or more is going to raise some questions. Edit. Thank you for the pie slices. Also could be genetics. Went to school with a girl that had 4 full working kidneys. She didn't find out till she had to get a scan for some reason. 10 years later, she still got the 4 kidneys. Edit. My inbox blew up cause of this comment, lol. I don't know much about her tbh cause she was a friend of a friend. Here are some answers though. Yes, she can donate her kidneys as they're working, but she has blood disease that makes it risky. Maybe hemophilia, so it would only be for an emergency. It's too risky for her to go under surgery. She doesn't have any issues besides having to get checked yearly to make sure all kidneys are working well and they haven't shifted. There is a risk of her renal tubes getting tangled inside her, but it's a low risk. As far as I know, she's doing well still. I still follow her on the Book of Faces. Haven't talked to her in years and was never her friend, so I pretty much lost contact. Edit 2. Superpower-wise, she is more resistant to toxins processed by the kidneys, but has a higher risk of kidney stones. I guess her pee is extra clean cause of it though, lol. I went to school with a kid that ruptured his spleen getting tackled in a football game. He went to the hospital where he found out he had a second spleen. Tampons. A guy we know hoards them because he thinks if the government collapses they will become a hot commodity that he can use to trade. I'm talking a shed full of boxes. All kinds. Unbeknownst to him, menstrual cups exist in rags. Edit. Well, this blew up. He's an odd bird. There is also a shed full with bins of socks. He wears them once, tosses them in a Rubbermaid bin, and once filled it gets placed in the shed. People have suggested donating them, but he says he doesn't want others to have access to his DNA. Mental illness is real. He picked a strange tampon-covered hill to die on. Children. Depends if they're your own or someone else's children. Well, they're mine now. Freezers. Not if you have a pharmacy or 3 freezers and 2 big fridges. Where else would you put all the meat? Cook 'em all and store them in my belly. I would say scissors, but that would be self-incriminating. So single socks. Toilet paper. Okay, seriously. Does anyone know why toilet paper, specifically, is the one item everyone is hoarding like their lives depend on it? Of all things. I don't understand. Why? Dolls. My grandma used to have about 70 porcelain dolls, old creepy ones. God bless her, but when she passed we donated them to the dump. As creepy as they are, those may have been worth finding a collector for. Lube. You can buy a 50-gallon barrel on Amazon. One day I'm gonna make a really long slip and slide. Submerge myself in the barrel and slide. Edit. Thanks for the awards, kind strangers. And they say the American dream is dead. Mirrors for sure. I've been in an elderly person's house where there was literally too many of them to count, and it just feels weird. This comment's so much weirder when you misread mirrors as minors. Pseudoephedrine. What is that? The good cold medicine. It's also used to make meth. Canned air dusters. Some people like to get high off them. It's not illegal, bitch towelly. Spoons. I've got 28,000 spoons. Not different ones. All the same. They are all over the house. But I've also got a spoon room, where most of them are neatly organized. You don't want a spoon mess. It needs to be neat. I love my spoons. Once in a while I will invite people and most of them pretend everything is fine. I think they are uncomfortable but don't dare say anything. None of them ever accepted a second invitation. Sometimes I feel lonely, and when this happens, I take one of my spoons, go to bed, and we cuddle. This has always comforted me. Edit. Thanks for all the PMS and replies and all else. But of course I don't have 28k spoons. That would be insane. Like, really literally insane. I just like to write what I think is funny stuff. Are they rusty? The feeling of rust against my salad fingers. Mayonnaise. Just trying to learn a new instrument. For me, water. My neighbors had well water and would dry up. They asked if they could run a hose and put it in their well. They would pay what was owed. Did this a lot last summer, no big deal, they paid. Then they bought a big above-ground pool. Filled it for them. They always paid. My part was always around the same, so I wasn't bent out of shape. One day the water meter guy knocked with an officer wanting to know why I was using so much water. I explained, showed the many hoses to reach my neighbors, and they were there to help explain. They explained to me that much water usage was throwing a red flag. So they were sent out to investigate to make sure no marijuana growing was happening. Plot twist, your neighbors were growing wheat. Plot twist, the water meter guy was looking for a supplier. Cash. If you have too much cash, it's automatically an assumption that you traffic drugs in some way. I wait tables and used to live in my car. I got pulled over and the cops searched my car and found a few months worth of tips. I already was homeless. I figured I would save up and buy a house. The cops lifted my mattress and found $15,000 in small bills. Had my entire vehicle torn apart and not put back together, and it took like a month to get my cash back. Hand sanitizer bottles. What? Are you fapping with it? JK. Don't do that. Don't kink shame me. Dog cages. Phones. Like one for personal use and one for work. That's normal. But if you own 20 of them, that's a little weird. Edit. 3 minutes ago this had less than 1,000 upvotes. Thanks guys. Edit 2. Half an hour ago this has less than 1,700 upvotes. Now it has 2.5k. Thanks again. Edit 3. I got gold for whatever reason. Thanks a third time. Our award speech edits. Either tech geek that loves collecting phones, or drug cartel member with lots of spare burner phones. Duct tape. I'm just practicing my kidnapping skills. I cannot actually kidnapping people yet. Wives. Fertilizer. You went out 6 hours to buy a money counter and you come back with a semi-conscious Gloria and a bag of fertilizer. Alarm bells are ringing. Willy. Bathtubs. Oh what? Bathtubs. Ropes and stools. Ropes are fairly normal, but it's a bit weird you have all those poop samples. I own one of each just in case. Skulls. I think you should have 2 at most. And I'm talking about conjoined twins. Others should have 1, and none of you're talking about ones outside of flesh. Greater than, and I'm talking about conjoined twins. There are far more pregnant women than conjoined twins. Candles. 1 to 2. You like good smells and a little atmosphere. More than 5. You try to summon spirits on your free time. Or you're hiding a corpse. Not me but my friend. He has eczema, like severe case. He has to get Vaseline in like huge quantities. He's also gay, so everyone looks at him weird buying a tub of Vaseline. But he just shrugs it off. Lol. Eyeballs. Pull-up bars. Ropes. And stools. And if someone finds it, say, it's exactly what it looks like and I blame you for it. Cucumbers and bananas. Hey, these math questions won't make themselves. Nor will that ass. When buying cucumbers, also buy lube. Don't want people thinking you are a salad-eating weirdo. Toenails. I'm saving them for a kiss. Children's teeth. Cats. How many is too many? Asking for a friend. Generally more than 4. If 2 people each with 2 cats move in together, that's plenty. After that I try and go for no more than n+1. Where n is the number of occupants of the house. Pets in general. Ever met anyone who hoards dogs? They're crazy. What if you were to walk into an apartment with lots and lots of snakes? You'd probably back away slowly. Rats. Gerbils. Guinea pigs. You'd assume they were breeding them to spread some sort of disease. It's one thing to be an animal lover. It's another to let it get way out of control. I knew a family of hoarders in high school that had over 1,000 turtles all over their house. Still can't stand the smell of lettuce if it's not absolutely fresh. They also had 8 snakes living somewhere around the house. No terrarium, just out, and some iguanas in the kitchen. There was more but I can't remember. Stimpaks. Once I saw a couple who were clearly on meth buying a shit ton of baby formula at the grocery store. At the time I was like, shit. That's sad. They have a kid and they can't breastfeed it because they're on drugs. Maybe a week later I saw a post on Facebook about how many drugs are cut with baby formula, which is why it's a high-risk item for large-scale retail theft. So, baby formula. Potassium nitrate. Great for fertilizing your plants in small quantities. Are making things go boom. And now I'm on a list. I'm sure it's discouraged as public knowledge as TV never says it. Along that same vein, you don't ever want to get caught with too much hydrogen peroxide, acetone, aspirin, aluminum foil, ammonium nitrate, sulfuric acid, potassium permanganate, sodium hypochlorite, chloroform, hexamine. Fuck, I'm on the same list now too. Thanks Nile Red. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.